need we need vitality. We need love. We need conversations. We need to see someone at the bus stop and see them as an extension of ourselves. Because that's what they are, right? That's what the literature tells us. Oh, we're all one. We're all one. We're mirrors of each other. Yet we say we don't need the outside world. All that matters is inside. We don't need other people. We don't need the validation of other people. We don't need the external influences. We can just we can just stay within ourselves and we'll have everything we've ever wanted. But at the same time, say that everyone else is an extension of us. You see how that contradicts itself? See how that contradicts itself? I've been growing frankincense trees and Palo Santo trees for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years now, and it's the best. There's nothing like getting our favorite little spiritual knickknacks and loving on them and growing them and planting the seed, and the seed comes out of the ground and the sun hits it for the first time, and it's just, oh, hello sunshine. It's the loveliest. So before we get cracking, just everyone take a nice deep breath. All right. Here's some Palo Santo. I want to burn some frankincense resin and some copal, some Bursera microphylla, and the frankincense. This just ain't any old frankincense, right? This is Boswellia papifera. You know that scientists have found that there are slight psychoactive compounds specifically in Boswellia papifera that are not found in other varieties of frankincense. I don't know if the camera will get this, but it's the best. So you guys tell me what you want. What do you guys want, new friends? What's cracking? This video is going to be about building self-confidence, at least how I discovered self-confidence and how it grew, and we all struggle with it, and it's not necessarily something that you're going to wake up with one day and be like, I am now confident in myself and my actions, and I will slay with everything I do. It's not about that. It is, but it isn't. So first things first, I want you guys to partake in this little moment right now. We're going to burn some incense, so our prayers will be answered by the gods, more or less. I have copal and I have frankincense. Which one do you want? You want the you want Boswellia papifera? You want our East African frankincense, or do you want our copal, our Mexican copal that the Aztecs were burning back in the day? You want to try some copal? Let's try some copal. I picked this up from a lady in Cancun. I have her number in the jar still. All right, so. Oh, look at that beautiful rock right there. It's really special to be able to see where things come from, We'll get on that. Has a lot to do with self-confidence. We'll get into that in a little bit. I also have a tarot card that I pulled for us if you want to stick around to the end, and we'll do something fun. But look at this. Look at this beautiful rock right here. The light to hit it. This is copal. Bursera, to be exact. Bursera microphylla. Look at that. It's almost like a heart. It's like a topaz. Anywho, we'll burn some right now. So here's our copal, and we have for those of you guys who opted for the frankincense, this is your frankincense right here. We'll throw them both together. Here's our jar. I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but when you're burning your resins, it helps if you put a piece of foil over your resin. You don't want the resin to smolder. You want it to melt. And so if you put something like ash or a rock or something on top of the coal, it's just, hold on. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys smell that? Some smell-o-vision? Nice, ain't it? Piney. It's almost piney and citrusy. Oh my goodness. All right, we've been blessed. We've been blessed. Not that you already weren't blessed, but now you're extra blessed. Sweet. Now that the vibe has been set, let's go ahead and have a little chat. What's up, new friends? Nice to see you guys. I'm stoked you guys made your way here. The new year's coming around, and I just want to remind myself how I got here and remind you guys how we can all get here and share some knowledge and share some vibes and share some good times. So before we continue, let me make it perfectly clear that your essence as a whole is flawless. Your potential for creation and overcoming obstacles, endless. Your shine, your particular nuance of beauty, everything about you, there is nothing on the world like it, quite literally. You are whole. You are perfect. You have the potential to be anything that you could ever dream of. And thank God even more than that. Your potential is thankfully 1,000 times even greater than you can even imagine. All right, so let me just stay that plain and simple, plain and clear before we go on, because this next part is where I diverge from most people. With all that being said, the way you gain confidence, self-confidence, self-love is through the external world. Which seems contrary because I've always gotten the conversation that says it doesn't matter what people think, it doesn't matter what's going on outside, what matters is you, how you relate to yourself is how you relate to the world, and again, all that's true, but there's a definition that comes from the external world. To gain self-confidence, you have to become better. You have to have the desire to become better. You have to take something that you love and dissolve into it to become a better person. Let me give you an example. On this sort of spiritual path or whatever journey, whatever you want to call it, if you want me to go into more detail than that, leave a comment and I'll make a whole nother video on how this all came about. But the very beginning, what I wanted to learn was about philosophy, spirituality. I wanted to find the nuts and bolts of happiness and how I can become happy and how I can become more self-sufficient and more confident. And the answer was I had to get better at life. Yes, I could wake up and say affirmations every morning about how wonderful I am, like I just told you guys, and it's all true, but those are just words. The experiences of the world are what reinforce those words. The conversations you have with people, your accomplishments, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and not only aspirations, but the goals that you've reached, not just the ones that you've set, but the ones that you've accomplished. Those things are really what make you believe in yourself. And there's really no way around that. So back to my beginning, I decided to write a book. And that's why I wrote my first book. I wrote my first book because I wanted to be a master of this particular field. When I had conversations with people, I wanted to have conversations with depth. Depth of my own character and to depths of theirs. I wanted to see how people worked. And in order to see how people worked, how their minds worked, how their bodies worked, how their soul worked, I had to learn the mechanisms of everything I could, because I wanted to have more meaningful conversations with them. The more meaningful conversations you have with someone, the more you can help that person define themselves. And in turn, the more that person can help define you. But I couldn't do that just by sitting around saying, I am perfect. I am all that I need to be. I am enough. That's only half the battle. Because it's one thing to say, I am enough every morning, and it's another thing to believe it as deeply as possible. And I know that the literature on the topic says all you have to do is keep repeating positive affirmations and your mind will believe it. And while that's true to a certain extent, imagine how much more powerful it is to have self-confidence in yourself, knowing you've accomplished things, knowing you've played the piano. And a lot of it, what people don't realize self-confidence comes from, is the ability for us to say we want to get something done and to do it. Whether or not we do it with flying colors, or whether or not it was as fun as we wanted it to be, or whether or not it was, met any sort of criteria that we set out in the first place. Just the mere fact you said, I want to do this thing, and you did it. That's self-confidence. That's self-love. And you are good enough, but you can't see that at first, I honestly believe that for the people, the highly successful people out there that look back and they say, you know what? I had what it took all along. I traveled the world, I met people, I learned how to speak languages, I learned how to play music, I did all these things, but when I look, I'm a millionaire, but when I look back, I didn't need all of this to be confident. I didn't need all of this to be happy. I had the happiness I needed from the get-go. And they're true, and they are right, but we're human. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, that we sort of have to see both sides to make that decision, The beggar, for example, will never experience the luxuries of the absolute wealthy. The finest chefs and the finest women and the finest restaurants and clothes and all of it. Right? The beggar will never appreciate that, will never experience that. But the wealthy man that has everything at his fingertips will never appreciate or understand the appetite of the beggar. They will never understand the appetite of the beggar. And so my goal in life, and it's worked pretty substantially, is to experience both sides of the spectrum. To experience the hot and the cold, the rich and the poor, the access to everything and the access to nothing. And that balance has struck the most chords along the way. And the self-confidence that comes with that is astounding. And the self-love that comes with that is man, it's a breath of fresh air. It's like when you work all day and you get home and you have a cold beer, or you have that nice cup of tea, or you burn your incense and you relax and you take it in and you just, right? How much sweeter is rest after work? And how nice is movement after stillness? And that's what a lot of people don't understand about this self-love, these self-affirmations, about believing that they are enough, is that your body has to feel it. Your cells have to feel it. Your feet, your fingers, your hands, your lips, everything your entire soul has to feel the love. After all, why are we here? To constantly look to the heavens, and to constantly look to the mind, and to constantly be withdrawn into the self, and to never experience the external world to validate what we feel. I mean, that's depression. That's anxiety. And it's such an easy fix. I should say, it's such a simple fix. It's such a simple fix. We got to get better at what we love. We got to get better at expressing ourselves. And we have to sort of become masters of something, of anything, even if it's a video game. Even if I was playing StarCraft this morning and I was like, I'm tired of getting beat all the time. So I watched a couple YouTube videos on some tips and tricks, and I won my next 3 battles. It's if you're gonna do something, do it right. Even if it's something bad, you know what I mean? Even if what you're doing is objectively speaking bad, at least be successful at it. Like, oh, you played video games all day today? That's it? Yeah, I did. Oh, this is what I did to my nephew recently. I said, you played video games all morning? He said, yeah, uncle. And I thought I could scold him, or I said, well, did you win? And his face lit up. He said, yes, I did. And I said, fuck yeah. Good job. High five. Right? And you could say, oh, Keith, it's not about winning or losing. And that's what I'm sort of getting at. I don't think that the wishy-washy, nothing matters, doesn't matter if you win, doesn't matter if you lose, doesn't matter if you're successful, doesn't matter, like that whole idea of philosophy that's sort of prevalent in today's times where it doesn't matter. Like, I don't buy that. I really don't. I really don't buy the idea that, oh, it doesn't matter that you're failing. Oh, it doesn't matter that this, it doesn't matter that. To a degree, it does. And here's the thing. If you have the mental capacity to fail your entire life, but still be genuinely and sincerely, you can say I was happy, I was satisfied and content, and I wouldn't change a thing. That's possible, but that takes an extraordinary amount of will. Oh my God, that takes an extraordinary amount of meditation, soul seeking, the likes of which regular people don't have. I'm sorry to say it, but we need to interact with the world. We need to understand that we are defined by things outside of us. We exist upon that which resists us. And that's not a scary thing. That's not, it shouldn't be seen as like, oh, I have to do things, or, oh, I can't just exist as I am and it be okay. And I don't know. I don't know. From what I've seen with myself and what I've seen with those around me and from what I've studied and what I've learned, the answer is no. You can't. It's not easy to just sit around and do nothing and not be successful and still be content and not fall into a downward spiral of anxiety and depression. We need vitality. We need love. We need conversations. We need to see someone at the bus stop and see them as an extension of ourselves. Because that's what they are, right? That's what the literature tells us. Oh, we're all one. We're all one. We're mirrors of each other. Yet we say we don't need the outside world. All that matters is inside. We don't need other people. We don't need the validation of other people. We don't need the external influences. We can just stay within ourselves and we'll have everything we've ever wanted. But at the same time, say that everyone else is an extension of us. You see how that contradicts itself? See how that contradicts itself? If everyone else is you, if you are me, why would I not dive into you? Why would I not learn how you work to learn about myself? Why would I say you don't matter as much as I do if you are me? Shouldn't it be equal? If the external is a mirror of the internal and vice versa, why could I not look at the external world and say that's just as important as the internal? If all is mind, why is this particular perspective of mine more important than you? It's not. It's not. We're all in this together, baby. Well, I hope this helped out a little bit. Thanks for the reminder. Thanks for the new friends. All the new people joining the squad, welcome. Take your shoes off, stay a while. My name is Keith, and I'll see you in the next video, all right? Bye.